Everyone, good morning and welcome back to Sports Today. So, it's been a pretty busy weekend as far as sporting action is concerned, and obviously, there are things which happen which you may miss out on when you're catching up on some rest. But you know what it's like with the world of sport, it never really rests. So, keeping that in mind, we bring you this video every single morning where we recap the latest happenings in the world of sport that you may have missed out on overnight. So, let's just quickly get to it. First off, we know today is a very special day for cricket fans the world over, as it is the birthday of one Sachin Ramesh Tendulkar. In fact, in this time, it's his 50th birthday. So, a very, very special milestone for the little master. And he has, in fact, been given one of the best tributes possible by the Sydney Cricket Ground, a ground where he has historically performed very, very well, and where he's actually, averaging over 100, even, he's averaged over 100 in that particular ground. He's had a gate named after him at the Sydney Cricket Ground. In fact, it's called the Tendulkar Lara Gate. So it is, in fact, a tribute not just to Sachin, but also to one of Sachin's contemporaries and best friends, Brian Charles Lara. Now, this gate had, in fact, been planned for quite a while by the SCG, but they figured that the best time to commemorate it, or to in fact bring it to public light, would be when Sachin reaches that rather special milestone of 50 not out. And they have unveiled the gate. In fact, this will be the gate that visiting teams will be using when they have to come down to the ground, to the pitch. Remember, the Australian team enters using the Bradman Gate, and now the away teams will be entering using the Lara Tendulkar Gate. So, special tribute to two legends who enjoyed batting at the Sydney Cricket Ground, and couldn't have come at a better time considering it is Sachin Tendulkar's 50th birthday. Now, they were speaking to cricket news, but switching to the world of IPL. Yesterday, the Kolkata Knight Riders succumbed to their fourth loss in as many matches against the Chennai Super Kings this time around. But what was very interesting to note was that Eden Garden was decked out in more yellow, arguably, than it was in purple. Now, most people attributed it to the fact that Dhoni was in town, and he did acknowledge it after the match, but in the process, did seem to hint that his retirement from the IPL is not too far off. In fact, this is what he said. He said, "I'll just say thanks for the support. They come in big numbers. Most of these guys will come in a KKR jersey next time. They're trying to give me a farewell. So thanks a lot to the crowd." Now, it is worth noting that, of course, many fans believe that Dhoni's time in the IPL will be coming to an end soon. But the fact that Dhoni acknowledged it so tacitly, saying that, they maybe are trying to give me a farewell, maybe means that he too is slowly but surely preparing for a life away from the grind of IPL cricket, even though it's only a 2-month grind. But he's not played international cricket since 2019, and he retired a year thereafter. It's not too far-fetched to think that the time where Dhoni will no longer be playing for CSK is actually inching closer and closer with every passing game. There was, of course, also some rather interesting comments from KKR skipper Nitish Rana, not on the crowd support, but on his team's poor performance, where he outrightly said that his team are making the same mistakes over and over, and if that continues to happen, results are not going to improve. In fact, this is what he said. He said, "We do have some positives to take from this game, but if you don't improve and if you keep making or repeating mistakes against such a big team, you will lose." Clearly, there's a lot to think about as far as KKR's think tank is concerned, and that includes the skipper, who should not himself be absolved from criticism given the fact that he made a few rather baffling choices in between the match. Switching our focus now from the world of cricket to the world of football, Newcastle United registered a thumping win over Tottenham Hotspur last night, and it's a win that actually boosts their hopes of making it to the top four, while simultaneously denting the hopes of Spurs. I mean, they were 4-0 up in about 30 minutes. It was as close to a mauling as you could get. And Newcastle were clinical, Spurs were anything but. And it means that the Magpies are now in a very good position to secure European football for the first time in a long, long time. Manchester United also were in action yesterday, but not in the Premier League, in the FA Cup semi-final, where they were taking on a very resurgent Brighton and Hove Albion. The match went down to the wire. In fact, it went down to a penalty shootout, which Manchester United eventually won to book a date against their crosstown rivals Manchester City in the final of the FA Cup. So, could very well be that United will have 2 trophies to show by the end of the year, or could very well be that this would be one of City's major conquests, assuming, of course, they can win that final. But that's, of course, talk for another time. Speaking of teams who are inching up towards getting a trophy, Barcelona registered a narrow 1-0 win over Atletico Madrid thanks to a Ferran Torres goal. Now, what that does is that Barcelona right now are 11 points clear at the top of the table with 8 more matches to play. La Liga has been pretty much done for a while, but Barca are slowly but surely getting closer and closer to cementing their first championship in a few years. They've had some turbulent times since then, both on and off the field. It would be a feel-good moment for their fans to actually get to celebrate that particular, title. First one in a while. First one proper under Xavi Hernandez, the new coach and former legendary midfielder. So it's good on them, but they have rather crawled towards the title. Anyway, switching our focus now from the world of football to the world of tennis. There were 2 major finals taking place in ATP and WTA events respectively. And to the surprise of absolutely no one, Carlos Alcaraz ended up winning his home, ATP event. It was the Barcelona Open. He was playing in the final against Stefanos Tsitsipas, and it was a rather easy victory for him. 6-3, 6-4, straight sets, easy as you like. Alcaraz is looking in absolutely dominant form going into, of course, the clay court season. And at this point, considering that there's going to be no Nadal most likely in the French Open, we don't have an official confirmation yet, but the signs aren't looking great. Djokovic too has in fact pulled out of the upcoming Madrid Open, and that's not really a good sign either. You'd hope that he'd be fit, but even if he was fit, how much match shape, rhythm, etc. would he be? And Alcaraz does look like he'd be one of the favorites to win his maiden French Open title. On the WTA side of things, there was the Stuttgart Open final between Arna Sabalenka and Iga Swiatek, and it was Swiatek who ended up registering rather easy straight sets win. Again, Swiatek too, her form has been kind of hit and miss, especially considering the fact that she had a really good 2022, but she seems to be peaking at the right time considering, as I said, French Open is coming up. You want to be at the top of your game, and it does seem like the pole is very much at the top of her game as things stand. And that's it from us on this edition of the Sports Wrap or the Morning Wrap with Sports Today. Thank you guys so much for joining us. It's really appreciated that you join us every single day as we bring you these news updates. And if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like it, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, tap that bell icon, read us a comment, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And last but not least, don't forget to download the Sports Tech app. Also, stay tuned with us through the day as we'll be bringing you all the happenings from the world of sport. For now, from my side, goodbye.